Welcome back. Today we're going to take a look at quantum computers, quantum crypto. Anyway, I saw this I saw this news yesterday on Google. So I'm like, oh, what? It's here? The quantum chip is here? Okay. So after reading a little bit about the quantum chip, I started to understand that, okay, it is not really as powerful as I would expect. I mean, it's still very powerful, I would say, but not as what I would expect. But anyway, this is something that we should accept that eventually it's just going to come. Quantum computers are going to exist eventually over time. Right now, the power is only at 105 qubits. Just to put things into perspective, you can ask Grok, right? How many qubits do you need to break Bitcoin, to break into a Bitcoin wallet in one day? So it's about 13 million qubits, which is, yeah, so right now it's only at 105. Sure, it feels like as if it's a very long time away, right? So let's say you do 13, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 divided by 105 gets you 123,000 days divided by 365 gets you 300 years to break Bitcoin at current quantum computers. But it's possible, but it takes 300 years as of now. So, but improvements to quantum computing, in my opinion, may not be linear, which means that it may be exponential as as we go along. Right now it's 105. Maybe it rises to 200, and after that it becomes 400, becomes 800. Right before you know it, it's 1,000. It becomes 10,000, 100,000. Oh, then it goes to 1 million. So this is the danger for cryptocurrency in general. Biggest danger. Even Ethereum itself is not quantum resistant. Vitalik did say before that he would just hard fork Ethereum because Ethereum is not quantum resistant from Genesis. You see, Ethereum Vitalik hard fork quantum attack. Okay, then you will see, right? He proposes a hard fork strategy, but the pre-fork wallets are already affected. You see. And you cannot protect everyone. You can protect most, but not everyone. So, yeah. Anyway, are there any crypto projects that are quantum resistant? To be honest, right, in the beginning, IOTA was supposed to be quantum resistant. In the beginning, they're supposed to use winter needs, but after that, they shifted to something else. The ED25519 signature scheme, they just shifted away from winter needs. So I'm like, hey bro, what's happening? David, what's happening? Dominic, what's happening, Dominic? So anyway, because they want to scale, so I can understand. If you are a quantum resistant chain, I think it's going to be harder to scale compared to a non-quantum resistant chain. So yeah, I mean, at this point of time, the tech, in my opinion, is just it's just babies. So it will probably get better over time. But anyway, IOTA was supposed to be quantum resistant. But anyway, they would also eventually change to a quantum resistant signature eventually. But it was supposed to be, you see, they're supposed to use winter needs. A lot of things IOTA said they wanted to do, but they didn't do. So anyway, so I asked Grok, what are some quantum resistant coins? So these are some of the coins that are suggested by Grok. So let's just look at some of it, all right? Quantum resistant ledger, QRL. Let's look at QRL first. So quantum resistant ledger, if you look at it on the daily, you'll be able to see that it is already broken out. Bro, let me just refresh it. Yeah, it's really broken out. This is a very big accumulation consolidation, right? So the moment the news came out from Google, right, for Willow, it just started blasting off. This was yesterday, 9th. Today's the 10th of December. So this was Willow came out on the 9th. So I would say that this is an overreaction, right? But anyway, we have a target for quantum resistant ledger at $1.27. So QRL, in my opinion, at this point of time, is at a market cap of 50 million, which I think is undervalued. Because the thing about quantum resistant ledger is that it is quantum resistant from Genesis and it is open source. It's open source. So I'm like, okay, this is great. This is the only one I would say at the moment, right? So in my opinion, in terms of coins that are quantum resistant, QRL has the first mover advantage. So this is something that I think we can consider making a move for, but because we're technical analysts first, right? So when we see news like this, we get trade ideas, and from trade ideas, you translate it into action. So this is how we do things, right? So you get the idea and then you look at the coins because we have the the know-how to look for potential breakouts. So anyway, QRL is already out. I would not have made a move for QRL anyway because it is quite low in terms of its volume, right? You just look at the wicks here and there. It's very low volume. So I'm like, yeah, if there's something that appears, if there's an opportunity, of course we will take it. But this is something that it's good for us to know, right? I'm not so sure if 127 is going to be it. I suspect we may be heading towards $2. So, but anyway, we will look for the opportunity if and when it comes, right? We have a target over here, $1.27, and we hope to take a ride towards 127 for QRL. Dropping down to the smaller time frames, there's just not much for us to work with. Even smaller time frames at 1 hour is like 30 minutes, 5 minutes. Yeah, it's just low volume, and it's I mean, we could get a head and shoulders collapse, but it's very low volume. The point is, it's very low volume. But anyway, yeah, you want to be very careful about trading low volume coins, right? Right now the volume is at 720,000. But yeah, let's take it one step at a time, right? Next will be MCM. I couldn't find any high quality charts for MCM, so we're just going to move on to IOTA. So for IOTA, I think I've mentioned this before, that IOTA is in a gigantic squeeze. So IOTA was a project. I think it's probably still is a project which I like a lot, although they have changed a lot of things which they say, for example, they said they would not be printing any more IOTA, but they still printed more IOTAs, diluting the amount of circulating. Yeah, but anyway, this is just how things are. The point being that IOTA has 2 targets fresh out of the oven. Still doesn't change the fact technically, because IOTA is still in a gigantic ABCDE, and eventually we will see it break towards potentially $24. So right now we're on it. So for 38 cents, if you go all the way to $24, this will be a 6,000% move. Absolute bananas. But you have to be very careful about rushing in, because there is that potential that IOTA could still, linger around here to form a wave E, right? We assume that this whole thing is a A, up for a B, down for a C, D, we're probably going to get an E, right? Usually when waves move towards the upside, they move in waves of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When it comes down, it usually moves in waves of 3 or 5. So you can, to be honest, count the waves, as it goes up and goes down, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. You can even argue that this is the 4 and the 5, right? At the same time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're out. So yeah, again, we're waiting for this accumulation consolidation to appear. This might take several months though. It's not going to be immediate. So yeah, but again, as long as we're above the skinny pink line and we see a very nice consolidation accumulation over here, we will be jumping in if and when it happens, right? No guarantees. We can still come back down, get a falling channel, go back under the skinny pink line. But IOTA is something that we have been observing for years. So it's been in an accumulation for 2,500 days. It's absolute crazy stuff. But yeah, that's IOTA for you. We might, I mean, realistically, right, we might have to wait until 2026 maybe, once the Crypto Council of Trump is, active and we start having proper regulation, yeah, we might see IOTA go bananas, right? Internet of Things. And yeah, the beauty about IOTA is that it's a directed acyclic graph and it's meant to scale. The more people use IOTA, I mean, the more IOTA is being used, the more the more it's being used, yeah, the more secure it is. So that's IOTA. In the beginning, it is very, vulnerable, but the more things, IoT, right? The more it is being used, the more secure it becomes. So yeah, but anyway, I think IOTA has a bright future, technical wise, and just that, because they changed to ED25519 doesn't mean that they won't be quantum resistant in future, right? And like we were discussing earlier, it probably is still a very long way before you can hack, into at least a Bitcoin wallet, right? It's still a long way off. So yeah, that's my take. IOTA still looks fantastic technical wise. ADA, we've taken a look at ADA yesterday. Cell frame. So for cell frame, if you look at cell frame, there is a very nice squeeze coming on. Very nice squeeze coming on gate. Do you see this? Oh my god. It looks fantastic. It looks fantastic. So again, if you want to talk about perfect, right? I would say that there are no perfect coins, right? QRL is the only one that I would say is truly quantum resistant from Genesis. Cell-frame is questionable. Anyway, for Cell-frame against USD, we're in a very nice squeeze. Right now, we are above the skinny pink line. Yes. Anything for us to work with? Not too sure. To be honest, right, I would prefer Cell-frame to come back down. Right. Probably even clear these classes of cells. Come down to this area first before, a proper break, right? This will be more proportionately pleasant. So again, 2026, 2027 will be the date, in my opinion, where crypto as a whole goes bananas. I have a strange feeling that this might not be the cycle that Cell-frame, reaches its full potential. So yeah, again, I still will expect a dip. And if we were to drop towards, let's say, sub 30 cents, right? Again, there's a very noisy area over here. There are clusters of cells over here as well. So around sub 30 cents, I think would be a reasonably good entry for Cell-frame. So there you go. Quan platform. QANX. So QANX is also in a squeeze, right? A lot of coins are actually in a squeeze. The funny thing about QANX is it's quantum resistant, but it's not hack resistant. This is actually a hack that happened, right? And they did a fork. It's funny stuff. So anyway, this is QANX. Still doesn't change the fact that if we were to cut through everything, right, this is still a very nice squeeze that's coming on, right? I don't think this is the cycle where it breaks out, right? We might go a little bit higher to take out the highs over here, zoop, but I suspect that we're still going to come back down, right, and have a proper squeeze. The only question is, are we going to be clearing all these classes of cells first before heading higher, right? Dropping down to maybe this noisy area over here to around 1.5 cents? Or are we going to stop at this noisy area over here, right? There's a noisy area over here as well. This whole thing, a very noisy area. So we could be stopping at like 0.3 cents, either 3 cents or 1.5. Yeah, so again, we're not entirely sure. But yeah, it does have potential to connect. So yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see first. And after that, ask Grok, please give me 10 more coins that is quantum resistant. But they are not quantum resistant at the moment. Nexus, right? Actually, Algorand is though, to a certain extent. Nexus, okay, you can't find Nexus. So we're gonna move on with Komodo Dragon, KMD USDT. So for KMD, anything for us to work with? Yeah, we're probably in an accumulation phase, but this is not the kind of chart pattern that I would like to see. So yeah, nothing much for us to work with. For Komodo, Constellation, DAG, this is another coin that is in the similar category as IOTA. These are directed acyclic graphs. So, and directed acyclic graphs fall under the umbrella of distributed ledger. Distributed ledger has DAG and it has blockchains. Right. DAG, to be honest, is also some sort of a blockchain, but we just assume that it is separate. So anyway, Like Hedera hash graph falls under DAG. IOTA, DAG. Constellation, DAG. And where we? What's that? Okay, we're above the skinny pink line, which is great. I think we should be taking a look at it on MACD. No? KuCoin? Okay, KuCoin is better. We have more information. So this is the very highs of DAG. Okay, let me just wait. Hang on, let me just leave a note here. TA. Because I normally default to gate. DAG. Okay, so DAG is already above the skinny pink line, right? And I suspect that we're about to hit back up to potentially 15 cents, I would say. About another 100% more. Again, we could go even higher though, right? This could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? There's so many clusters of stop buys over here. So the whales may just decide to trigger all of these clusters of buys, pushing the price much, much higher than 15 cents, 30 cents even. But again, we will take things one step at a time. It would be great if we had the consolidation over here before we continue higher. So we're just going to assume that this whole thing is a wave 1. We're anticipating a wave 2 to come on for DAG. Where are we now? QANX. Okay, we've seen QANX. RWave. Okay, so for RWave, we're also in a potential squeeze, right? So if you look over here, RWave is in a potential A, up B, potentially down for a C, a D, and an E before breakout. I would love it if we were to drop properly towards the downside, right? Clearing all these clusters of cells. We may even just stop here though, right? Before heading higher. If you pull up the Fibonacci retracement, right? This ties into 0.618. So we may not even clear these clusters of cells, right? So this is just sub $10, maybe 9 something, and then pump. We start reversing back up, right? We consolidate, get an E over here. A, B, C, D, E. Something like that for our weave. And then it just goes bananas. Yes, no? Not too sure. We're gonna have to wait and see. MINA? Minasan. Ohayou gozaimashita. Watashi wa Nihonjin desu. So for MINA against USD, we are kind of in no man's land. Nothing much is happening. We have been zipping in and out of the skinny pink line. So it's just that, yeah, we're just gonna move on from Minasan. DUSK network. So for DUSK against USD, yeah, potential squeeze. You see this? You see this, boys and girls? Anyway, we are we are kind of under the skinny pink line. So I would assume that DUSK will come back down, clear all these clusters of cells, head towards this noisy area over here. There is a possibility that we might even hit lower than that, right? To this area, right? DUSK might just hit here before going back up. Something like that. So yeah, we want to watch out for potential moves for DUSK, but it's not going to happen immediately. It's going to take several months or years even before we see a move, right? Yeah, but I suspect we might just stop here though. Maybe the upper portions at around 12, above 12, 11, something like that for DUSK network. But as it stands, yeah, I still think that it is still too early to tell, right? 2026. I think 2026 is the year that things go bananas. Everyone goes bananas. Where's this? SCRT? SCRT is a privacy chain. Okay, so SCRT is above the skinny pink line. Okay, TA MACD, SCRT, USDT. Let's go to MACD. Oh, so we know that this is the noisy area, right? So above $5. Right now we're at 52 cents. So this could be a 1000% move coming on potentially. Eventually 1,000 move, 1000%. And another thing we like about SCRT is that it is in a potential inverse head and shoulders. Woohoo! Left shoulder, a head. This could be a right shoulder in the making. Again, as long as we're above the skinny pink line, that's great. That's absolutely great. That's fantastic. But we're also aware that there's danger that SCRT could also come back down, right? And turn into a much bigger type of an accumulation before breaking higher, right? 2026 maybe, but right now you can see that the momentum is towards the downside, and we could pull a upper line across. This is a mountain. We could be getting a descending triangle and coming back all the way down to this area. So watch out for that. Watch out for that for SCRT. AZERO. So for AZERO, we actually had a target towards the upside because there was a nice squeeze over here, right? We thought that this could be a very nice squeeze. and a breakout, right? But nope, we dropped lower, right? We took out these lows. There was a rally, and then we took out these lows, and then that's it. That's it. Sayonara. And we dropped lower. Right now we are here. We are attempting to break back up. Again, this target is going to be considered as invalidated because why? We already took out these lows. So anything for us to work with for AZERO at this point of time? No, there isn't. So we're just gonna move on from AZERO. SIA coin. Okay, this is another secret. I think I mentioned this, you know, on and off, but secret. SIA coin is in a fantastic big squeeze coming on, right? If you look very carefully, this is a very big squeeze, right? AB, CD. I'm not sure if this is the E. Quantum resistant, yo. Anyway, for SIA coin, we have a target over here at 55 cents, which we acquired way back in November 2023, more than 1 year ago. We're still expecting the big breakout to come for SIA coin. It may not be immediately, and sure, we may still drop lower, clear all these classes of cells before reversing back up, but we're still anticipating big moves to come for SIA coin. And we expect 55 cents to be, I suspect even when the breakout comes, right, we're going to go beyond 55 cents, probably close to $1. So where we are right now is 0.006 to $1 is bananas, right? It's 14,000%. This is only 90 cents. We're going to go 15,000%. This is just crazy. It's 100x, 150x potentially. So let's say if you put 10,000 over here, you become a millionaire by the time it hits potentially, right, $1. So yeah, this is SIA coin for you. One of the very, very few coins we're looking at. The boys and I usually are always looking for entries for the several coins, right? You've seen it. You've seen two today. One is SIA coin. The other one is IOTA. These are the two coins. They are in huge accumulations. And even when the breakout happens, yeah, it's going to be bananas. So yeah, there we go. That's our take for the, is it 10 coins? Probably 10 of the potential quantum resistant coins that could be breaking out in the near and far future. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you in the next one. Ta-da!